Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with 4 alternate hands, totaling 6 interchangeable hands, 3 different sets of mandibles, 2 claws for his wrist blades. He has a backpack or med kit. Then he has his combi stick, both shrunk and extended. Before taking a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Feral, the main Predator from the film Prey. Most recent Predator film, and it was a decent film. This is the cloaked version, but not only that, he's covered in bear blood, so you can see a lot of the figure. The bottom half is still semi-transparent. The top half is also semi-transparent, but has red on top of it. When he was first introduced to Nero in the film, he fought a bear. It's a really cool scene, seeing a giant predator fight a giant bear, and he destroys him, but he's cloaked. When he lifts the bear's body, blood drips all over him and allows Nero to see him for the first time. And that's a pretty interesting idea for a variant. I've seen cloaked and semi-cloaked predators before, but this is something that actually happened in the film. It makes him more visible, and makes him very unique. Visually, he's very pleasing, and I was thinking, what other variants could they make? Well, they could do a fully cloaked version, but that's kind of boring compared to him. They could do maybe a battle damage version. I think maybe he had his hand cut off at the end. Really can't think of much else they can do with Feral. But let's talk about this one, so let's take a look. Start with his head here. He's got that unique bone mask, but it's covered in red blood, so it looks really, really cool. You can see his open mouth, also covered in blood. The mask is removable. Dreadlocks are black, but stained with red, also covered in blood. Is the whole top part of his torso. You can see it's mixed some semi-transparent parts. He's cloaked and he's got some blood on him. The effect is very nice. I like it. It looks good. Then you can see the bottom half. I wouldn't mind a fully cloaked version of this guy as well. Not that it's necessary, but this is a pretty cool idea for a variant in the packaging. Chef's kiss. And a closer look at his face, helmet, and head sculpt. Very nice. Very well done. And here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now for his accessories. Let's start off with his hands. He has a total of 6 hands, 3 right hands, and 3 left hands. Here he is, with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And here he is, with his third hands. These are some open, outstretched hands. These would be good for that iconic pose when he's taking his mask on and off. Now let's look at his mask. This is different than a traditional Predator biomask. This one is completely made of bone, but it's a couple or few hundred years before we've seen a Predator before. You can't really tell on the thing here, because it's covered in red blood. But like I said, it's normally white bone. And it makes you wonder, how can you see past this thing? I assume there's some kind of technology on the inside, lens or something that allows them to see outside. It's a pretty cool, unique design and very fitting for a Predator. Here's Feral with the mask on, and here with the mask off. Now the mask can work with each set of mandibles, so you have a lot of different display options here. And speaking of the mandibles, he has 3 different sets. One completely shut, one semi-open, and then one completely open like he's screaming. Here's his first set of mandibles. This is a closed mouth. Like I said, the mask will work on his closed mandibles or his open mandibles, any of them. Here's his second set of mandibles, semi-open. And here's his third set, completely open. Probably the most impressive one, but the one I'll probably display the least. Now let's look at his backpack, or med kit. Once again, semi-transparent, covered in red blood. You can see it's metallic machinery. Cool thing about this, it has a magnet, so it attaches to his back. That way, you don't have to plug a peg in or anything. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be attached on his back like this, sort of diagonal. You can put it straight. The magnet's more on his right side than in the center, and it's a very strong magnet. Now let's look at his wrist blades. They're both very thin, red, covered in blood. Here's Feral with those wrist blades attached. Then we have his combi stick. There are 2 separate versions. One's completely extended, comes in 2 pieces, and one is completely compressed. Once you attach the 2 pieces together, you have a really long combi stick, and then the shorter version. Here's Feral holding the compressed version of the combi stick. And here he is, holding the extended combi stick. Now I wanted to check out the differences and similarities between this cloaked, bare blood Feral and the original Ultimate release. And besides the obvious paint differences, it's 100% the same figure, same sculpt, same articulation, but there are some differences with the accessories or trophies. Let's take a look. Obviously, bone mask, bone color, covered in blood. It's the same figure, totally red. I do prefer the original, but this one looks pretty cool. The loincloth is even invisible, it's got blood on it. Now that's where the differences are. On the backside here, he's got like a wolf skull, some other trophies, netting, this thing. All that stuff is missing on this guy. And I thought to myself, well, maybe they're trying to make it accurate because of the point of the film where he fought the bear. Maybe didn't have those things yet, but I'm pretty sure he actually did encounter all those animals before that part. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, now for his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right about 9 or 9.1 inches tall, which could translate to 23 centimeters. And now for his articulation. Start with his head. Of course, you can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down a very good amount. Can tilt his head one side to the other just a little bit. Shoulders, ball joint, goes out 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. No bicep, well, there's a bicep cut hidden pretty nice, I didn't even notice it. Double jointed elbows, they go in this far. The wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. I get a little bit more out of the waist than the torso on this guy. Legs, complete as splits, ball joints. The legs can rotate independently against the ball. They go forward, pretty much all the way. Back not much. Double jointed knees below that. And then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock. And that's articulation. Here's a look at the feral, covered in bear blood, screaming, holding his combi stick. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with some of their predator figures. Here's the ultimate bear blood feral, next to the regular ultimate feral. I prefer the regular version as he looks a little more normal, more useful, but the bear blood one is a pretty cool idea for a variant. Not simply a cloaked predator, but a cloaked predator drenched in bear blood. Like I said before, maybe they'll do a fully cloaked one, maybe a battle damaged one. Can't really see anything else they could do for feral besides some inaccurate repaint. Here's this feral, next to a McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Nightwolf. They could make for a pretty good fight. And then, keeping the Native American theme going, here he is next to a DC Direct, Man of Bats. And now, next to McFarlane's DC Multiverse, fighting the Frozen Bat Clan. Sort of a Native American or prehistoric bat family. Now let's check him out, next to some Predator figures from each of the different Predator films. Here he is, next to the Ultimate Jungle Hunter from Predator. And here he is, next to the Ultimate City Hunter from Predator 2. Then, next to Scar, Celtic, and Chopper from Alien vs. Predator. And now, next to a NECA Wolf from Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. This is an older NECA figure, even predates the first series in their current Predator line. NECA has promised to revisit and give us an Ultimate Wolf, and even in recent interviews they say it's still coming, so fingers crossed. Here's Feral, next to Berserker, Falconer, and Tracker from Predators. And here, next to the Fugitive and the Armored Assassin from The Predator. Here's Feral, next to the Ultimate Lost Tribe. Then, next to Stoneheart from Concrete Jungle. And here he is, next to the Alpha Predator. Here he is, next to a couple of Ultimate Xenomorphs from Aliens. Then, with a couple of Engineers from Prometheus. And now, next to several different NECA human figures from their various Alien and Predator lines. And finally, here he is next to Dutch and his extraction team for the first Predator film. So overall, the original NECA Feral Predator is a fantastic release. The only complaint I would say is his torso seems a little bit too long. And this variant makes perfect sense. Hell, a cloaked Feral makes sense. This is even better than that. Cloaked, covered in bear blood, straight from the movie. Very logical release. He is short a few accessories from the other one, but he doesn't really need them as he didn't use them in this scene. As a whole, sculpt, fantastic. Paint job. I mean, there's really not a ton of paint job here. It's cast in a semi-transparent plastic with red on top, and it is different shades of red. It looks good. It's visually pleasing. Accessories are plentiful. If I were to rate this guy, probably give him like a 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5, that sort of area. He is a very nice figure. but I'm going to use him far less than the regular feral, and he's definitely not what I would call a necessary figure. The regular feral, yes, that is necessary to your Predator collection. This one, not so much. Still, it's pretty nice, and the fact that it's exclusive, at least for the moment, makes it pretty cool to have one in the collection. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.